Okay, good afternoon and welcome back to the Phase 2 Skillathon for Samurai. And we'll be covering a very important topic in the next 3 to 4 sessions, and you will realize why it is important in a moment. I'm recording this session so that it can be shared with others for their own understanding. As you know that Masai School is a transformation in education where you learn to earn pay only when you get hired. Three things that we focus in Masai School is always been to build industry relevant skill, and you pay nothing until you hired, and it's a holistic development. And because of this reason, when we went and asked the companies what does a competent programmer means, they said they are the ones who are looking for who have coding skills, not just coding skills, but they also have a skill to communicate, collaborate, and also they said they will be able to think creatively and critically. That's where the soft skills came into mind, but also said we need team members who are adaptable, flexible, willing to work in team, and we said it's a programmer mindset. So keeping that in mind, to cover the soft skills and also the programmer mindset, we launched Skillathon and Masai School, which basically covers 100 hours of sessions to build your soft skills, communication skills, and also the programmer mindset. In fact, we at Masai School believe the soft skills are catalytic skill, or even you can call them life skill, because domain agnostic, and they can be used in whichever domain that you are in, whichever level of the hierarchy that you are in during your career progression. So what we did is we put together three areas, which we call them as the skill set, tool set, and mindset, covering wide variety of topic, right from starting from communication skills to problem solving, marathon mindset, critical thinking, and creative thinking tools. We always believe it is the combination of a skill set, tool set, and a mindset that makes an individual successful, not just in the job, but in the career. But what is the combination? For us, the formula is very simple. We all focus too much on only on building our skill set and tool set, but somehow we miss out on building that programmer mindset. And it's always, it has the multiplier effect. So we strongly at Masai School try to inculcate the mindset to be a successful programmer. So let's look at what is the mindset of a programmer in the next 3 to 4 session. If you want to sum it up, it is nothing but problem solving. So if you want to become a truly an outstanding professional as a programmer, as a software developer, you need to build this mindset, and that mindset is of problem solving. It is not just writing code. It is what the purpose of writing the code, why you write the code, is to solve a problem. So unless you develop this mindset of a problem solver, you will be doing a very limited contribution in the entire value chain. But the moment you look at as a problem solver and then you write code to solve that problem, your approach to the entire coding piece is completely at a different level altogether. So friends, I invite you for the next 3 sessions or maybe even 4, depending upon the interaction that we have. I'm going to look at how does one build this mindset of problem solving. Is it just a mindset, or is it a combination of something else, is what we are going to look at it. It's a very vast topic. Probably you might have heard it a lot of time in the recent past, because everyone is talking about we need people who are problem solvers. Now let's look at problem solving. I would like to start with this quote by Karl Popper, who said that all life is problem solving. Isn't it? Right from the time that we are born, we're trying to solve some problem or the other. I want you to look at this word problem, not in the way that we always look at problem is something that I want to avoid. No, in fact, problems are only opportunities in workloads. Imagine if there is no problem, then would you be required in the first place, is the question, right? So problems are opportunities in workloads. So you must, if someone says that I have a challenge in my website speed, then there is a problem that I need to solve it, right? I'll talk about it more as we progress. Let's look at it. What is the problem which Uber was trying to solve? Can you please use your chat box and tell me what was the problem this company was trying to solve? A pretty successful company by any standards. If you can tell me what is the problem Uber was trying to solve. Let's look at some of the companies and what was the problem that they're easy to commute. Okay. Can you go a little more deeper? Is it only easy to commute? Even today, I may take a Uber, but I get stuck 2 to 3 hours in traffic. Get a taxi at the doorsteps. Okay. Okay. You're coming a little closer between the driver and the customer. Okay. You're getting closer. A combination of all those things Uber was trying to solve. Uber was trying to solve basically a connection between the service provider and the service requirer, that is the taxi driver and the passenger, using the technology, right? Obviously, the many things can technology can solve, and one of the things that they were trying to solve is the communication. So one of the biggest challenges that they felt was on this, right? Let's look at what was Netflix trying to solve. What was Netflix trying to solve? I'm amazed with this subscription services. What was Netflix trying to solve, or have they already solved? Is it entertainment? Star TV gave entertainment. There are so many channels were giving entertainment, premium quality movies at one place, right? So using technology anytime, any place, subscription based entertainment. Okay, at your free time. So I can go back and watch it. I can curate what I wanted to watch. So Netflix was able to give that. What was Airbnb was trying to solve? What was Airbnb trying to solve? I'm sure I'm talking about the products that have been very popular in the recent decade. What is Airbnb trying to solve? Housing? Was it housing they were trying to solve? Who are the people who are trying to use Airbnb service? Right? The genesis goes that there were a lot of travelers who wanted to have a comfortable yet affordable stay over a couple of days or weeks when they travel to a place. At the same time, there are a lot of people had spare rooms. Like for example, I have a 2 3 bedroom house. I don't mind sharing one of my room for us a traveler, and I make a little money out of it, right? So they said that let's connect this for people who wanted a space and people who had space, and let's connect them. And then that's how the Airbnb was formed, right? What about Foodie Buddy? I don't know how many of you have heard about it. My wife used it for some time here. This was connecting in a society, people who make home food and people who wanted to take the service of home cooked food. So you decide today that I'm going to make some chana and roti, and I want to put it on Foodie Buddy. I put 10 servings on that. So people who are part of this app can order for you, and either you dunzo it or you can deliver it nearby. So this was something, a very, very innovative way of engaging home cooked food for people who wanted that kind of food. What about Practo? How many of you have used Practo? It is basically a doctor appointment app, right? If you look at it, doctors were very, very notorious when it comes to meeting the appointment time. It was always very fashionable for a doctor to report late, right? So they used to come late. And here what happened, of course they moved on to online consultation later, but if you look at the Practo started with trying to solve these appointments, right? And that was one thing. And then the reviews started giving there. Then the doctors became very aware that if I come late and if I don't treat the patient well, even I can be subject to ratings. And then they became aware of it. Then of course online consultation they have added that. What about Swiggy? Incredibly successful, right? Whether Swiggy or Zomato, these brands, look at the way they have been able to raise money and give employment and solve the simple thing of delivering food from a restaurant to home. It was not that it was not there before. There were many restaurants doing home delivery. Domino's had it, right? In fact, many people said that Domino's is not a pizza company, it's a delivery company, because they were trying to solve the problem of delivery. But look at Swiggy. They took it to millions of restaurants, they onboarded it, and you have the menu on the click, and they're able to do it. And so is also Dunzo. Amazing product according to me, right? Many a times that you forget your keys at home and you wanted somebody to bring it, or you wanted lunch to be delivered to you, Dunzo karo, right? So they've solved all of them. What have they done, friends? They've solved problems, right? So is also Masai. What is Masai trying to do? There is a skill gap between the students coming out of the college and the employment employers, what they required. So we are trying to bridge that gap. So what I want to tell you is very simple. Problems are the golden eggs. If there is no problem, these companies would have never existed. Imagine if the colleges are able to produce top-notch skill-based curriculum, and companies just hire them the moment you are out. Do you think our services are required? No, right? If the restaurants were able to deliver the moment you order, and the menu is very clearly visible, would Swiggy come into existence? No, right? If all the drivers were able to communicate with the passengers in the most robust way, it wouldn't have existed. So problems are golden opportunities, or opportunities are the golden eggs. So make sure you look at a problem as an opportunity. Many of us run away from a problem. You must tackle the problem, find solution to it. There are different approaches to solving the problem, which we'll talk about it as we go. And that is why, as per the World Economic Forum, the top 10 skills that was required in 2015, the number one skill has been problem solving. Then 2020 also, it has been problem solving. The ranking has not changed. If you look at the other skills, the ranking has got changed, but complex problem solving skill is remain in demand, because it is humans who solve problems. Computers can only give you some kind of automation, and computers can give you insights, but to solve problem, take decision is still not there. So why problem solving skills are important? For good reason, friends. First of all, it is a vital skill for your professional and personal life. Second is, it is the skill that is assessed during the interview. Third is, as a programmer, you have to fix an issue or improve the performance, and can help you to progress more quickly, boost your career opportunities. And there are many other reasons why problem solving skills are important. Now, my question to all the 35 members here, or a little more than that, are you all interested in learning this skill? Yes? Okay, now there is no choice. You better learn the skill if you want to be a successful professional, and as both in professional life and in personal life. This is the one of the most sought after skills. Okay, so let's look at, there are three large elements in problem solving. The first element is thinking, the ability to think, right? So if you don't have the thinking skill, it is very difficult. Unfortunately, they teach you physics, chemistry, math, biology, history. Have you been taught thinking as a skill in your school or college? No. Thinking is so fundamental. Why can't thinking be taught as a subject? In fact, Edward de Bono is considered as father of thinking. He proposed thinking should be taught as a subject. Because if you don't teach a person how to think, how is he going to solve problems? Right? So thinking skill is the first thing that is you need to do. The second is analyzing skill. You need to think and you need to analyze the problem, analyze alternative solutions, analyze the decision making process, analyze the result. So look at it. One side you are thinking and analyzing. These are the two sides of the coin, which is very important to solve the problem. And then you have to take a decision. Let's say that I need to reach office in the next 30 minutes. I've been asked to come. Now I need to think. Now, what are the things I need to think? How do I reach office in the next 30 minutes? I have a session that is going with Samurai 2. Is it good to stop, or how important I need to be there? Let me analyze why I've been asked to come in the next 30 minutes or so. Let me analyze who else can run this session, or what else they need there. How can I postpone that session? Then I need to take a decision. Should I continue this session, or should I travel to office? Can I be in office in the next 30 minutes? What mode of transportation should I take? Can I quickly check the Google map? How much time can I take? Can I just pause a session for 2 minutes, or allow them to watch a video? Meanwhile, quickly call the person who has asked me to come there. Thinking, analyzing, and decision making are three large elements of problem solving. Now, there are three C's of problem solving skills. I've given you three large elements, but there are three C's of the problem solving skills. The first C is curiosity. If you're not curious to solve a problem, you'll never build this skill at all. You will continue to work like a machine. That means if you tell me something, I will do it. There is no curiosity in me to solve a problem. I do it for the sake of doing it. So building that curiosity is very important. As a child, All of us are very curious. As we become adults, the curiosity goes away. It is not just that the society kills the curiosity, the home environmental kill curiosity, the parents kill curiosity, teachers kill curiosity. Curiosity is fundamental to solve problems. In fact, we must encourage curiosity. The second C is creative thinking. There are two kinds of thinking. The other one is critical thinking. So I'm going to spend on these three C's a lot of time. I'm going to tell why curiosity needs to be built. Some of us are curious by nature, some of us are not, but it can be built. I'm going to talk about creative thinking. Creative is not about sitting in one corner and writing a poem or doing some art or coming out with some great formula. That is not that's not the only creativity. You can be creative in anything that you do, right? I'm going to bust the myth of creativity, and all of us can become creative. And the other important element I'm going to talk about is how can we improve our critical thinking? What are the tools that are available to improve critical thinking? And there are some brilliant tools that we can use to build our own thinking in critically. Okay, so remember, if someone talks about problem solving, you should remember these six things. First of all, I must build my thinking skills, analyzing skills, and decision making. There are a lot of people who can think and analyze, they don't take decisions because they're scared to take decisions. I don't know how many of you have come across. I know a friend of mine, you talk about, I'm talking about when I was in college or just after college. You talk about the various opportunities that are available. He knows end to end. He knows banking service exam. Those days were very popular. The government exams, the MBA route, or he'll know, but he never took a decision. He never did anything for 2, 3 years because he's scared to take a decision. There are a lot of people like that. I know a friend of mine recently, he knows every car model that is available. He has analyzed each of these models, but he is yet to take a decision on which car to buy because he is not sure. He can't make a decision, right? Three C's of problem solving: curiosity, creative thinking, and critical thinking. Okay, so I'm going to take you through this journey in the next 3 to 4 sessions, and I want you to be in this journey. First, absorb whatever I'm sharing, and whatever tools that I am going to discuss, I want you to implement, because these tools, unless you implement, and you will not be able to improve the skill. Like any skill requires deliberate practice, this requires even more. So let's start with just let's see how sharp is our mind. Okay, I'm going to share a list of letters. I want you to tell what is the next letter. There are certain letters written here: O, T, T, F, F, S, S, E, and dash. What could be the next letter? And you have to give a reason. Yen. Lokesh says yen. Why N? Why can't be E? There are two T's,
Uh,
two F, two
it's
S.
like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Oh, okay, you have
8.
cracked it. He says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. In fact, it's a good answer, Lokesh. Very well done. So, thinking, what can be the pattern, analyzing, and then giving the answers. Connect 9 dots with 4 straight lines. Take out a piece of paper. I want you to write these 9 dots the way it is written here. I want you to connect the 9 dots with 4 straight lines without lifting the pen and without overwriting. Okay, so draw these 9 dots, and I want you to connect only with 4 straight lines. Okay, you get some 20 to 30 seconds to do this task. 9 dots, connect with 4 straight lines. Typically, you need one line for 2 dots. So that is where the challenge is. I've given you one resource less. I've given you 1 dot more. Anyone has done it? Okay, I'll give you 20 more seconds. Connect 9 dots with 4 straight lines. Suman Chakraborty has done it. Okay, so this is how it goes. If you're connecting the 9 dots, I can start with this way. Let's take a pen. 1, 2, 3. No, Let me try again. Okay. The 9 dots connected are like this. The 9 dots, I go outside. I come one, two, three. Sorry, it starts from here. One, two, three, and four. Right? So you go from outside. One, two, three, and four. So many things in life needs to be find outside the problem. Only then you will be able to solve it. So if you're inside the box and trying to solve a problem, you'll not be able to do it. Now I want you to connect 12 dots with 5 straight lines. It's even more tougher. I'm giving you one more dot extra. 12 dots with 5 straight lines. Can you try? These dots are written in this pattern. 12 dots with 5 straight lines. 12 dots with 5 straight lines. Okay, you can attempt a little later. I will give you this answer. It goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Symmetry: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A symmetry. So one thing that you need to understand while connecting the dots, friends, we cannot connect the dots looking forward. We can connect the dots only looking backwards. That Steve Jobs will come back to the statement a little later while looking at curiosity and creative thinking. Now, one more, a little easier one. There are 6 glasses. Okay, the game of 6 glasses. Rearrange the glass in so that a glass is alternate full and empty. Here you have 3 glasses are full or 3 are empty. Can you make it one alternate? Which one would you move by moving only one glass? Second, and you will move it to fifth. It's a very easy one. Life is not so simple, Shubham. You understand, right? Kapil, you know that life is not so easy that you will be getting problems in such a way to do that. Now, all problems have 2 features in common. Whether you did this problem or that OTT, or we did that joining the dots, all problems have 2 features in common. One, you have a goal, and then there are certain barriers. Okay, so the problem involves setting out out to achieve some objective, or even avoiding a situation or an event. There are some barriers to do it. Otherwise, it would not be a problem at all. I want a goal, and there are some barriers. For example, let's say I'm using a bullet. My goal is to make sure bullet gives 40 kilometers per liter, so that people start not having a pinch of driving a bullet with 40 kilometers per liter. But there are some barriers because of the size of the engine, the weight of the vehicle, the way the design of the entire engine is all about. And that is a barrier that you have, or the quality of fuel, etc., or driving conditions of the road. There are few things that you can solve, few things are out of your control. So there is any problem is what? The fuel efficiency of a Royal Enfield Bullet is not in line with what the consumer's expectation are. So you have a goal and there are some barriers. The website, the consumer experience in the website is too slow, right? Now, what is the goal? To make the website consumer experience better. The barrier is the internet speed. The barrier could be the OTP authentication. The barriers could be the design. Barriers could be the entire flow. Barriers could be many things. Are you with me, friends, so far? I want you to get a broad understanding where we are going forward. I'm setting the context. There's no point in giving you a tool without understanding what is problem solving is all about. Everyone talks about it, but not many are able to put together a design and a delivery in such a way that you get the crux of it and start solving problems. Right? Now let's look at what is a problem. First of all, I told you problems are opportunities in workloads. Problems are golden eggs for entrepreneurs. Problems are there. Life is all about a problem. Let's look at define what is a problem. A problem is actually a discrepancy between the current and the standard expected of that situation. Let me read again. A problem is a discrepancy. Let's go back to that Royal Enfield Bullet. What is the discrepancy between the current situation or a standard or a expected? Now, let's say I have been getting 35 kilometers per liter. It has dropped to 25 kilometers liter. So there is a discrepancy between the current situation and the standard. I was getting 35 kilometers per liter. Now I'm getting 25. There is a discrepancy. Or it could be expected. Consumers expect मुझे गाड़ी में 40 किलोमीटर तो देना ही पड़ेगा, नहीं तो I will not buy a car. A lot of Indian car buyers are the ones who says that a car should give at least 15 kilometers per liter because they've used to Maruti standards, right? Maruti is very fuel efficient. कम से कम 15 किलोमीटर देना चाहिए. Now that is an expected for that situation. Okay, so that is a problem. A standard is a known expectation what should be given to that situation. It should give 35 kilometers. The current situation, the way it is, the discrepancy is the difference. Okay, I'm just taking a bullet as an example. It could be anything. You can do that. So what are the types of problem? There are two types of problem. One is a diagnostic problem to find out what went wrong. This bullet was supposed to give 35 kilometers per liter. It is giving 25. Can you check the air filter? Can you check the fuel filter? Can you check where is he filling the fuel? Can you check his driving habits? Can you check which is the route that is he driving? All those things is a diagnostic. Relatively easy. But what is more complex is a design problem. The design is the Siddharth Lal, the CEO of Royal Enfield, comes and says, Eicher Motor Company, the parent company, and he says to the R&D team, hey, I want you to design a Royal Enfield Bullet so that it can give 40 kilometers per liter minimum. Now that is a design problem. Because they need to go back and look at it. How do they get that 5 extra kilometers? Should they reduce the weight? If they reduce the weight, what will the drivers think about it? Should he tamper with the engine setting? How does the beat hears? That's a design problem. Identifying what needs to be done to achieve a desired goal and create a new product, new solution, new process. Now, I want you to understand this very well. Whenever you are trying to solve the problem, ask this fundamental question. Is it a diagnostic problem or a design problem? Because both requires different approaches, different resources, different time frame. Okay? Right? Are you with me so far? Can I get a quick yes? Okay, good. Because I'm just building the blocks for you to learn how do I solve problem. Okay, so the fundamental to solve problem is one must be effective in thinking and analyzing. Go back, I said you must be able to think, analyze, and take a decision. Now, thinking and analyzing, right? If thinking is so natural, right from the time that we are born, the brain's function is to think. So why we need to think about thinking is a question that we all have in mind. But mind is like a parachute, friend. It only works when it is open. Closed parachute don't work. Closed mind don't work. Let us look at thinking and analyzing. There are certain alphabets written it in this particular way. Can you tell me why? There are some alphabets written on the top line and some alphabets are written on the bottom line, the second line. Can you quickly look at it and tell me why have these alphabets written in a particular way? Anybody? Why have the alphabets been in this written way? Why some alphabets on the top line and why some are in the bottom line, the second line, whatever you call them? None? 10 seconds? Anybody want to take a shot at it? 5 seconds? Nobody is thinking. Post lunch is always a challenge to think. Top used more. Alim is saying top used more. Okay. If I had shown this to a kid in LKG or UKG, they will answer it. We as adults find it very difficult. Most adults will not answer, but you show this to a LKG or a UKG kid, absolutely, you are right. You are right, Kota Sai Krishna. If you look at it, the first line of letters are all straight lines. The second line is all curved lines. Now, as per the O level of education, they've studied the child, and they said that the child should be taught first to write straight lines, then only they should write the curved lines. They will learn A to Z in the sequence way, but when they start writing, first they write A, then they don't go to B. They learn E, F, H, I. Because the child, the, the muscle formation, the bone formation is just happening. To write anything in curve is very difficult. And at that stage, if the child finds it difficult and they don't improve their handwriting, or they don't like writing. And that is why if you go and join O level or in a school that follows that approach, they'll first teach the style, the straight lines, and then only they teach the curve line. Right? So how difficult was it for most of us? We could not really think and analyze. Well, it is so simple once you know the answer. Right? So let's go to the next one. Uh, Next one is interesting. If 3 days ago was a day before Monday, what will be the day after tomorrow be? If 3 days ago was a day before Monday, what will be the day after tomorrow be? Thursday, Kapil, try again. 3 days ago, Wednesday, Sunil, Friday. Ashish, you're right. It's Friday. 3 days ago was a day before Monday. What will be the day after tomorrow be? This is an easy math. I'm sure you'll be able to get it. I have given you only 20 seconds. 500 women live in a village. 6% of them wear only one earring. Of the other 94%, half are wearing two earrings, half are wearing none. How many earrings are there in total? Simple math, arithmetic. Nope, absolutely. So Myadri, you're right. The answer is 500. 500 earrings. Just do a simple math. 500 women live in a village. 6% of them wear one earring. So 6% of 500 is 30. Of the other 94%, half are wearing earrings. So you minus that of two, half are wearing one. How many are there in total is 500. The next one is a little funny one, but let's see how many of you get it. There are only 2 R's in Robert Richardson. There are only 2 R's in Robert Richardson. How come? There are only 2 R's in Robert Richardson. The capital R. The other R's are in lower cases. Last one, how come not a single parent objected when the teacher spanked every child in the class? Not a single parent objected when the teacher spanked every child in a class. How come? All objected? No, not a single parent objected. Only children were present? No. Not a single parent objected when a teacher spanked every child in the class. The little tricky one, it was an orphanage. The children over there didn't have parents, so no parent objected. Okay, so the whole objective behind giving you these questions to make you all realize that thinking and analyzing is a critical skill. There are few common things we are not able to answer it because we have stopped using this the way it is required. So what is analysis? Now let me give you an example of this. Let's say morning I get up, I go to the washroom, I open the tap, there is no water. What could be the reason? What could be the reason? Yeah, good answer, Krishna Kant. The school was in North Korea. Okay. Come again, please. Okay. Now I went early morning. I got up. I went to the washroom. I opened the tap, the sink tap. There's no water. The water empty, tank is empty. Okay. What else could be there? I want you to come out with as many reasons as possible for this situation. The water tank is empty. Okay. Plumbing is an issue. There is a blockage. Water is frozen. Possible. Tap could be blocked. Lower knob was closed. Good answer. I have not paid my water bill. So they have closed it. Motor in the night. You may be in dream. Possible. I may be in the dream, right? Or actually the RWA has sent a mail that there would be no water supply in this particular plumbing line. Please use the other line. Still, you have not understood leakage somewhere, etc., etc., etc. So basically, an analysis is separating a problem into a constituent element. Is there a plumbing problem? Is there an RWA problem? Is there a payment problem? Or is it actually a reality? And reducing a complex issue in the simplest terms, only then you will be able to solve it. Right? Now, let me give you another reason. I go to the breakfast table, my wife serves me idli and chutney. And I make a statement, this idli is very hard. What could have gone wrong? I don't know how many of you have eaten idli and you know what goes into make an idli. So idli is supposed to be soft, right? I say the idli is so stone hard. It's like almost like a stone. What could have gone wrong? The batter might be cold. Okay, Kapil is saying, okay, the ratio might have gone wrong between idli, the rice and urad dal. Mixture is not right. Absolutely. Fermentation has not happened, or it has got not cooked properly. The steaming is an issue, right? Instead of a wrong dal can be used, yeast may not have added, fermentation not done, or simply I'm in a wrong mood, or my wife is in a wrong mood and she has prepared it that way. Possible? There could be several reasons. So is it a raw material problem? Is it a cooking problem? Or is it a human problem? We need to do that. So reducing a complex issue into the simplest form is analysis. But having said that, there are some common errors you and me do when we are during analysis. First and foremost, I begin to analyze. I've already formulated a conclusion. I know the water is not coming because the RWA is inefficient in this. RWA means Resident Welfare Association. I live in an apartment and we have a RWA which takes care of maintenance. This RWA is inefficient. I've already come to a conclusion. Possible? I know you are not interested in making breakfast today. You actually wanted to order with Swiggy. I said no. You made it because purposefully you have made it. Possible? We do it, right? You and me would have done it at home because I have already formed a conclusion. इस बार मुझे कम मार्क्स दिया है क्योंकि I asked some questions in the class. Possible, right? Focus on solution we intuitively favor. So many a times it happens that during the weekend we take a decision. We every alternate weekend we used to go out. I'm talking about pre-COVID. After COVID, the going out has come down drastically. Where do we go? Now, the options are what? Either we go to a restaurant for dinner, or we go to a mall for shopping, or for a movie, or occasionally visit somebody's place. I intuitively favor going to a movie because I used to, in my previous work, I used to travel a lot. I used to be outside home at least 10 days a month. I used to go to Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Calcutta, of course, from Bangalore, occasionally to other cities. So I was getting bored of eating out. So I was not interested in going to a restaurant. I neither liked mall because just walking, boring, nor going to my relative's place. I love going for a movie. Intuitively, I favor. So already I say, yeah, this week let's go for a movie. I think the Hrithik Roshan movie, Super 30 is very good. One of my colleagues saw it. I think you must watch it. Right? So intuitively I favor, so I don't analyze. Is going to a mall is good, or going to a mall where there is a music event that is happening, you can go and watch, or going to some other place where there could be a benefit to the children to watch something. There's another nice word called satisficing. Now, what is satisficing? I analyze just to fix the current problem. It's like a band-aid approach. I want to do it for the current problem. Many a times we confuse between discussing, thinking hard, and analyzing. Right? So analyzing is not, many a times in the TV channel, they're not analyzing. Right? They're actually not even discussing, they're shouting. There is not analysis. Really, you should watch some real good channels where analysis happens. Focusing on a quick outcome and not on the process, lack of structuring. Now, all these are common errors in analysis. Now, we should avoid this. Don't intuitively favor. Don't focus on a quick outcome. Not possible. Now, why these errors? Because of emotional dimension. Mental shortcuts, view biased on few events, both our biases and assumption. I need to find an explanation, clinging to our own beliefs and opposite. So if you look at it, a lot of these errors happens because of our mindsets. That is where I'll come a little later, why it is important when you are thinking and analyzing. You need to keep your mindset away and neutrally look at every situation and then come to a conclusion. Right? Talking about thinking, there are two kinds of thinking, friends. One is called critical thinking, other one is called creative thinking. Critical thinking is bringing together, moving to one point. It's logical in nature. Creative thinking is branching out, outside the box, different direction. Now, by nature or over a period of time, we tend to tilt to one side more than the other. They also called as the left brain and the right brain, right? So, but in any problem solving, your ability to use both is where you come out with the most potent way of solving a problem. So we can develop it. For a long period of time, I thought I'm a critical thinker only. I can never think creatively. Then later on, I realized I have many solutions which makes me think creatively. Because for me, I thought creative means, as I explained to you, somebody is able to take a brush and paint something, or able to sing, or able to build something out of something. That is creative method. That is, it is, but that is not the only way to say creative. You can write a code a little differently. You can find a solution a little differently. Given the same thing, how can you make it a little different way is also creative. Okay, so what's the difference between the two? Critical thinking is based on facts, based on data, based on reports, whereas creative thinking is based on perception. Critical thinking has got only two answers, yes or no, right or wrong, whereas creative thinking is all about possibilities and experiments. People who are logical thinker, first they'll say proof दिखाओ, data दिखाओ, कौन बोला, कब बोला, data दिखाओ. Is the data relevant? That is critical thinking. Whereas creative is on imagination. So it is very easy to find out whether that person is more of creative or critical in 20, 30 minutes of conversation. If he's based more on facts, more on yes or no, more on past experience and proof, is a critical thinker. But if it's based on more perception, possibilities, experiment, and imagination, is creative thinking. I'll come back to this. Each one of them I'm going to cover a very detailed. I will take one full day, for 1 or 2 full days on critical thinking, half a day on creative thinking. So before we do that, let's look at what is it required to solve problems. To solve problem, we need a mindset. Second is set of skills, a process that needs to be followed, and few tools can help you to solve a problem in a nice way. So let's first look at what is the problem solving mindset. Mindset is essential foundation for solving a problem. It is the very base that will support or collapse any strategy or tactics you use. In short, if your mindset isn't strategies, isn't right, in, even if you have the best of the strategies, tactics, and tools are pointless. Many of us don't solve a problem because of the mindset with which we approach the problem is difficult. I'm going to give you some examples right away. Is it either kind of thinking better than the other? Absolutely not more. There are some problems to be solved creatively. Some problems require a more dose of critical thinking, but it is neither either or. It is always a combination that is more effective. Right? I've already discussed about it, talking about mindset. I'll not cover this aspect. This was the research done by Carol Dweck, talking about fixed mindset and growth mindset. Now, I want to look at what are the barriers to problem solving. The first barrier is I don't recognize that as a problem. The second barrier is I conceive the problem too narrow. Barriers means, now, barriers are nothing but I'm not able to move forward to solve that problem. That is called as a barrier. A gate is a barrier between you entering from the road to the house. A barrier is a blockage or something that is kept in between to proceed further. conceiving the problem too narrowly, making hasty choices, failure to consider the feasibility of the solution. Just I decided I want to go with that. Yes, barriers are also obstacles. Failure to consider all consequences, pros and cons. If I use this, what are the pros? If I use this, what are the cons? Cons are negative, right? If I go to a North Indian restaurant, what are the pros? I like it, my younger son like it. What are the cons? My mother might not like it. My wife is okay with that. My elder son is not in favor of it. Pros and cons. I go to an Italian restaurant. Both my kids love it. My wife likes it. I am okay with it. My mother does not like it. I go to a South Indian restaurant. My wife doesn't like it. My elder son doesn't like it. My younger son doesn't like it. I like it. My mother like it. Always in any decision, there are pros and cons. You have to understand that, right? If I buy an SUV versus saloon, there is a pros for SUV. There is a cons for SUV. Similarly, for a saloon, I have a similar way. Failure to communicate what is possible or simply our attitude and mindset. Now, what kind of mindset that kills our problem solving? It is not my problem. That is backend has to solve it. That is product's problem or an engineering problem. No, no, no. This is the leadership problem. This has to be solved by operations, not me. It is the other challenge is also it's too radical. We can't make that kind of change. We have never done that. So people don't look at it, right? Or simply that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to maintain a web page. I'm not worried about traffic. If the visitors are not coming to our website, that is not my son. You tell me, is there any glitches, right? That is not my responsibility. Top management will never approve it. Why do you want to try all this? Look, my competition is not doing. Why do you want to offer this service? We have not done it before. Why are we going to do it now? Now, these are the attitudes that kill problem solving. I don't have time. I've already have enough to solve. I don't have time, or it costs too much. So these are the attitudes that kill problem solving. So people who are interested in learning more about the mindset, the new psychology of success, I would strongly recommend you to download Carol Dweck. Or if difficulty, you can just watch the summary. I will share this link to you. You can watch this amazing summary on growth mindset. The simply changing your mindset is a first step in solving a problem. Many of us focus on skill and tool, but if you don't have the requisite mindset, even you have the best of the skills, you will not be able to solve the problem. So first develop the mindset to be a programmer, that is problem solving mindset. So the second element is a process. What is a process? Let's take kitchen as an example. Let's say I'm making aloo paratha. Now making an aloo paratha is a process. The first thing I need to do is get raw material. I need potato. Yes, it's a kind of a flow chart. I need to get potatoes. I need to get the dough. I need to get some spices, some onion, some oil, some tawa, etc., etc. Once I do that, I need to boil the aloo. I need to make the dough and rest it. Once the aloo is boiled, cool it down, remove the peel, remove the skin, mash it, add some spices, some salt, some chili powder, whatever garam masala, and make it nicely. The next one is I need to make the dough into smaller balls, and inside that I stuff that aloo and then pin it. After I pin it, I need to fry it, and then I need to plate it, and maybe I need to serve with a mint chutney. So let's look at making this aloo paratha as a process. The first stage is a preparation, right? I need to get the raw material. I need to cook the aloo. I need to get that dough ready. The next stage is I need to do that stuffing and pinning. The third stage is frying, and the fourth is plating. So what is a process? It's a set of activities. Some are independent, some are interdependent, right? So even problem solving is a process. If you don't follow a process, you will be in a hasty to solve a problem, right? So let's look at problem solving comes from a structured approach. The flow chart, what he talked about it, we need to develop it. Now there is one approach called IDEAL. Remember this, IDEAL. It's an acronym. So what is one? I is nothing but I must identify the problem. I must identify the problem. Second is I must define the problem. If I don't identify what is the problem to solve, many politicians don't identify the problem because why should I solve the problem? Let it be like that. Many companies, they do that. Many managers do that. They just turn blind eye. They don't identify the problem. Once you identify the problem, I need to define the problem. Then explore what are all the possibilities to solve the problem. What are the solutions? And then take decision, take actions. Intention don't produce results. Action produces result. Once you have taken the action, reflect, look back, review whether that particular action have solved that problem. A five-step process. Simple, can solve any of the problem. Identify the problem, define the problem, explore, action, look back. Look at what happened in Uttarakhand. Many environmentalists are talking about it. You must identify which are the routes or which are the places where these problems are bound to come. Define the problem. Is it because of glacier? Is it because of a lot of activities that is going on? Explore what are all the solutions that you can do, take actions and look back whether we have solved problem. Traffic in Bangalore. Identify the routes where we have problem with the traffic. Identify first what is the problem. Define why this problem is caused because of lack of infrastructure, lack of transportation, alternate transport, or is it lack of civic sense? What is the problem? Explore solutions, implement the actions, look back and see whether it is solved. Ideal. Okay. So identify the problem we have already explained, but having said that, there are a lot of pitfalls that are there in problem solving. Okay. So I'll just skip this because it's a bit technical for you. So what I want to tell you is make sure you do the problem in the right way. What I'm going to share after this class is this article, the most important business skill that has never been taught is how do we define the problem? Because people want to jump. They identify a problem, they don't define the problem. They want to jump into a solution. But if you skip this, you will maybe solving the wrong problem, right? The more the ways we look at the problem, the better we can define it. Okay. So identify the problem, define the context, explore possible strategies, solution, act on the best solution, and look back and learn. So friends, what are the skills that are required? There are many skills are required for solving problem. To start with, curiosity. Second is creative thinking, critical thinking, decision making, teamwork and collaboration, and time management. I'm going to cover each one of them in detail. The first three C's. I'm not covering decision making, teamwork, and time management. Time management we'll cover a little later if possible, given the context that we have limited a number of classes during this unit. So I will cover on curiosity tomorrow. I'll start creative thinking tomorrow. Critical thinking, I need at least 2 sessions, and I'll take you through the entire thing. If you take care of the first three and you take care of the process that is required for problem solving, and before that, the mindset that is required, that I want to solve a problem, I enjoy solving problem, all these are learnable. Hope you are able to get the foundation right in today's session. Give me a quick confirmation on the chat box. That will be useful. So that's brilliant. So when we come back tomorrow, I'm going to start with curiosity, and then I will introduce you to creative thinking. And on Friday, we will look at critical thinking. Okay, that's largely the agenda. So thank you so much for today's session. I think it's almost 3:30. Look forward to connect with you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.